What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to take a little bit of a look at some honestly, frankly, slightly disappointing news that we all probably could have seen coming, but unfortunately it's real. You see, over on the official Facebook group, the lovely folks over at Bandai have gone and shared some updated production and release information for version 1.0 and version 1.5. Unfortunately, COVID-19 continues to have a significant impact on our production and distribution networks worldwide. Now, we're going to get more into this later on in the video, and I know there's going to be a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, so let me say this straight off the bat. It's COVID. It's not Bandai being inept. It's not Bandai dropping the ball. It's not Bandai not being able to accurately assess demand. Although, to be clear, as I've said in videos before, this game has outstripped even the Dragon Ball Super TCG in terms of hype and demand right off the bat. So, in a way, I believe that Bandai have underestimated the demand for this game. But I mean that in terms of we don't have a current precedent for a new trading card game that has seen this much hype straight off the bat. It's just not seen. Dragon Ball, I think, was the closest we got in terms of brand new game hype, and the hype when Dragon Ball came out was not like the hype for Digimon. Other games I've covered, like Transformers and Keyforge, yeah, they've had some hype and some fanfare and all of that, but I was right in the middle of them, and I've been right in the middle of Digimon, and I assure you the hype for Keyforge and Transformers is not even remotely comparable. It's not even on the same level as the hype we've seen for Digimon. So, yes, they probably have underestimated demand, but the only way to not underestimate demand would be to put absolutely ridiculous, unrealistic expectations on a brand new, untested game, which would be ridiculous. It's not a conspiracy theory. Bandai are not deliberately suppressing supply. They're not trying to raise awareness of the game or anything like that. We're in a global pandemic. Production has been massively lowered. Capacity in factories is much lower than we're expecting. Distribution has been hit, and that sucks. But what Bandai are doing about it is they are being honest with us. They are sharing the information as fast as they can, and they are keeping us in the loop. I know several people, many people are going to be furious about this, but it really is just COVID. So here's what they've said. Over in North America, the hobby release date of Special Booster version 1.0 will change to the 12th of February due to freight logistics issues. For anyone that's wondering what freight logistics issues are, it is getting the cards to stores. It's as simple as that. Now, again, I know there has been a whole bunch of conspiracy theorists out there saying that we're not getting extra boosters for 1.0, that they've stopped printing it, that they're not sending more out to stores. Well, this is proof that that's wrong. They are still releasing version 1.0, but they're putting it a bit later. They're delaying it until the 12th of February because they are struggling to get it to stores. Why are they struggling to get it to stores? Because people all over the world are off work because they're either self-isolating, or they're shielding, or they're just ill. So that means there are fewer people driving trucks, there are fewer people on boats, which means there are fewer trucks on the road and fewer boats on the seas. It means that people working at the checkpoints, people doing the paperwork, etc., there's fewer of them running around, and that all means that it takes longer to ship stuff, and what they're trying to avoid here is they're trying to avoid what so many people have accused them of. They are trying to avoid drip feeding, so some stores get stock, but other stores don't get stock. They are trying to make sure that the stock is actually out there, so they delay it to the 12th of February. What was it supposed to be? I don't remember being given a proper date. We were essentially told that it was going to be January. So we were expecting January. We are getting 12th of February. I'm fine with this. This is all right. Like, don't get me wrong, I want to buy another box or two of Booster 1.0. I want them to come out as fast as humanly possible, but I also understand that as fast as humanly possible at this stage is not January. Starter decks have been delayed and will be available from mid-February. I find it weird that 12th of February is 2 days before the middle of February, so I'm not sure why they've given a date of the 12th of February for Booster 1.0, but they've said mid-February for the starter decks. I would keep an eye on this. The thing is, 12th of February is mid-February. They are sure that Booster 1.0 is going to be ready to go in February on the 12th. The fact that they've not given us a date for the starter decks, I would be slightly, I suppose, cautious here, is what I'm going for. It strikes me as rather weird that they would give an actual date for the boosters of 12th of February, but then just give mid-February for the starter decks. It's almost like they're not sure about the starter deck release dates. So I would look for that one to potentially change. Otherwise, why would they not just give us the same date of the 12th of February? So I've got my eye on that one. Over in Europe, we have been advised by our distribution partners that stock will not arrive until the 25th of January. Unfortunately, this will result in a delayed release in some European territories. Fine. What that means is that it's not necessarily going to be the 25th of January. It means it's going to be a little bit later. So again, we don't have a strict date there. Some probably will get it on around the 25th of January. Some will be a little bit later. Really, this is just a heads up from Bandai going, look, we don't exactly know. So if it is a little bit late in January, just chill. It's going to be okay. It is getting out there. And then there is a worldwide delay to version 1.5 due to the 12th of March 2021, again due to freight logistics issues. So we've previously been told by Bandai that they've been having trouble with production and that factories have been lowering capacity, etc. Now it is logistics. And that sucks because they can't get the cards to us, but if it's the 12th of March, it's the 12th of March. I mean, as someone that also plays Pokemon, Shining Fates is a spectacularly exciting Pokemon set, which is releasing in February. So honestly, having Shining Fates 1 month and then having Booster 1.5 the following month, rather than the same month, I'm kind of all right with this. Splitting them up works very nicely for me and my bank account, so no complaints here. I know that that's a little bit sad, and I know that this is upsetting, but it's the way it is. I want Booster 1.5 faster, so I can make more decks, etc., but at the end of the day, this is going to have very little impact. We're basically getting it a month later. As it stands at the moment, we have not been told anything about BT4, which is our third set. I know that's a bit weird. Remember that BT4 is the fourth set in Japan, but our Booster 1.0 and Booster 1.5 are amalgamating BT 1 to 3 in Japan. So our third set is still our third set, but it's called BT4 because as of BT4, we are basically just following along with Japan. At that stage, we are just going, you know what? This will be fine. We'll just do what Japan does. So Japan's BT5 is going to be our BT5, and their BT6 is going to be our BT6, etc. No word on the premium pack set, which is due for release in April, so unless we hear anything else, assume that that is still going to be released in April. No word on BT4, so assume that BT4 is still going to be released in May, like it was scheduled to before. Assume that there are no other changes, and there might be. It may well be that further delays are announced, and if they are, they are. I don't want further delays, and you don't want further delays. But things are rubbish right now, if I'm honest with you. I mean, we'd rather it wasn't the case. We'd rather that we had everything on the exact dates and there were no delays and all of that. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, these things happen. And we can all be terribly upset about it, and we can all be, angry, or we can go, you know what? We're in a global pandemic. This stuff is going to happen. Maybe we just chill out a little bit. The fact of the matter is, I've seen all kinds of horror stories going around in the Facebook group about Booster 1.0 being terribly undersupplied and you're not going to be able to get any and there's going to be massive shortages. And it really does seem like if Bandai are coming out and saying, hey, we've changed the release dates for Booster 1.0, it feels like if there were going to be huge supply issues, this would be the time to say. If they were going to be impossible to find, this would be the time to say. It seems very, very strange that there would be supply issues that they wouldn't mention, while they did mention a delay. So I would call it just a little bit on the there's not going to be any stock of Booster 1.0, because they've literally come out and told us about a change to the release date without telling us that there is going to be limited supply. Seems like that would be an oversight, unless they've just changed the release date. And while we're here, rumours from distributors and retailers are not official confirmation. Please don't believe anyone that actually thinks it is, because that's just silly. One fun little side note, somebody did ask about Australia, and it has been confirmed by the folks on the official group. There are no delays for version 1.0 in Oceania, so if you're over in Oceania, good news, no delays. How come there are no delays over there when there are for other places? Because they're printed in different factories, and they're shipped through different companies, and they are not experiencing the same delays. It really is as simple as that. So that's what I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Sad news, but you know what? We're still getting the cards. They're slightly later, but we're still getting the cards. And this game is still awesome. So you know what? Consider me a happy wassy. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but be nice. And I think on this video more so than others, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassy. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing is always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wassy Plays.